Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? That was really loud, I'm sorry. I was just listening to that startup music being like, this sounds really loud compared to usual. But yeah, what's been going on with me? I played some Life is Strange True Colours just a tiny bit earlier. Gonna have to edit a little bit of it to mute a little bit of my mic. But that's fine. The rendering process won't take too long, hopefully. But what was I saying? I don't know. I actually just completely forgot what I was saying. Hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:37 PM on Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. Nothing to really think about anything going on in the land of my gacha games, I suppose. The new shiny colours event started with a new banner. Chiyuki finally getting a permanent SSR support SSR. Woo! Celebrate for that. It's absolutely no relevance to you whatsoever, but you know, I'd like to talk about it anyway, as if you're interested. To my fitness friend mountain. I thought of a simple way to join my oh yeah, we've had this multiple times before, in fact. For multiple different villages. Who's our visitor? Is it Red? It's not Red. Actually, have we had Red? No, we had Red last week, not this week, right? I can't quite recall off the top of my head who is visiting. You were not talking. Okay, so it's a wandering visitor. It's probably CJ, I think. Because I think we had Flick last week, didn't we? Or did we have CJ last week? Whichever we had last week, we didn't have the other one. And he's probably visiting. I just got done watching a video from Yesberry. I was going to start recording, but then, you know, I saw an interesting video by Yesberry. I'm not even subscribed to him. I just saw it like on Reddit, I think. And I was like, oh, this is cool. They went to apparently a country, not officially, like a country which is not a country. That's a sort of like clickbait title for it. I can't remember. It's like this like disputed land in Moldova or Russia area, kind of, called it's not Transylvania. It's something like that. Transitivia? That doesn't sound right. Hold on. I'm sure if I Google it, I can find it. Country Transitivia in Moldova. Transnistria, that's it. Which is let's see, unrecognized breakaway state, as it's called, and it's next between Moldova and I don't know, somewhere. My geography is not that good. It was a pretty interesting video. A very heartwarming stories and that sort of thing, and it just made me think, you know, about traveling, about, you know, like talking the language. Like I'm not sure if Yesberry is just one person or whatever, but I'm just gonna call him Yesberry because I don't know his name. Went with a friend who was like a fluent Russian speaker, so we can actually communicate with locals, and they had very like lovely stories going on. Wait, hold on, do we? Oh, it is CJ. And they had very like lovely interactions with the locals and that sort of thing, including this very like old grandma who basically looked after them. It was very nice to them throughout the day or two that they stayed there. And because she was so nice that they decided to pay like her surgery cost or whatever. And it was honestly heartwarming. Things like that. I'm not going to say it melts my icy heart because I don't think I have much of an icy heart, but it, you know, just warms your heart. You just go, aww, that's adorable. And it just sort of makes you think of like, you know, these small communities, they always seem so lovely and nice to go to. But I'm sure part of it is, you know, helped by the fact that you can actually speak the local language. And, you know, it's a thing, you know, of all the superpowers out there, one of them which I think is super underrated is being omniglot, sorry. But polyglot is many languages, omniglot is all of the languages. Being able to speak every language fluently. I'm not even someone who travels all that much, mind you, or even has much of a lust for travelling. I think part of it is due to the fact that I feel bad travelling to the other countries when I can't speak a language, you know. I can speak English, I can speak conversational Chinese and Japanese. I could probably convey some meanings in French. And every other language, I'm just like, got no clue how to even speak. How to even speak on it. And it just feels kind of bad to me, I know. I know it's not something to be self-conscious about, like, especially countries of large tourist, what's the word? A large amount of tourism. People are kind of expect it. People kind of expect people from other countries to come and not speak our language. But I don't know. Part of me, it's not like it feels disingenuous per se, but it feels more like, you know, if you rude. I don't know the way to put this. I know this is definitely me sort of overthinking, but it's sort of like, I feel bad visiting a country and being like, oh, you know, can't speak your language, and I just, I guess I just kind of had to rely on you being able to speak English, because that's sort of just become a widely accepted language which everyone should learn at some point if you want to get like ahead in life or have opportunities actually open up to you. And it just, to me, it just goes like, ugh. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth and that sort of thing. And that's why I always think like being able to speak every language is incredible superpower. Perhaps not like, ooh, Nickwell plus mission goals, year-round dynamo. I know, like, as far as like game-breaking superpowers. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about My Hero Academia today. Well, I'll do that tomorrow because we're on this conversational topic now. It's not like incredible, it's not like superpower or anything like that. But for ones which blend into everyday life, there's only two which I think are reign king or queen, I suppose, or non-gender assigned royalty word. Is that one? There must be in later. There's one assigned royalty. That's shapeshifting and being able to speak every language. Polyglot, or omnilingual. Being omnilingual. And honestly, that might be a hot take. I don't know. I'd imagine a lot of people's views on that sort of thing certainly vary. But for my sort of thing, if you gave me any superpower, I guess the first power you always have to choose is always like reality bending or like time travel, things like that, things which are ridiculously large scale. But if like, okay, you aren't allowed to choose any reality bending powers. You had to choose things which sort of just if anyone discovers you have a power, you'll just be shot or something. Or like something where you had to basically live your everyday life. In which case, I'll be number one, shapeshifting, because shapeshifting I think is pretty cool. Being able to look how you want to look and being able to transform as you want to transform into whatever you want. Hey Raymond, I've been wondering, what do you do with your free time? I thought you'd never ask, as I'm sure you know the life of a top-tier celebutante rarely slows down. Like last night, I was up late doing research for a new kind of poetry I'm developing. If I know poetry, and I do, once Spogs get an earful of these rhymes, yeah, take that, poets. They'll have to invent entirely new awards for me. Billions of poetry fans will be begging for my autograph. But we hung out last night. All we did was listen to flamenco while you watched me clean your kitchen. What? While you watch me clean your kitchen? Aha. Yeah, that happened. Oh, but cleaning is all part of it. Thrilling and exotic rhythm styles I'm creating. Buongiorno. I call it slam scrubber poetry. Amazing, right? But hold your snaps until everyone gets a taste, okay? Classic Raymond. Lying for clout. Speaking languages. Where was I going with this? I can't remember. I was going somewhere with this. Speaking language, something. Yeah, going to a country, feels bad, being like, oh, and it's kind of expect you to speak English. Makes me feel bad. Which is why I suppose I like going to Japan, because I was kind of learning it. So even though if they, had to communicate in English, sometimes I could at least try to speak in Japanese. And they'll be like, huh? Or they won't be like that. They'll be like, oh, okay. Because, and then they'll reply back in Japanese, and I'll be like, I don't know what you said. Like, you walk into a restaurant, I'll be like, futari desu. Futari kudasai. Is that how you say it? I forgot. I'd have to look it up again. I was like, table for two, please. And we'd be like, ah. And then they ask, I can't remember, it's like Kinjo Suru? Is that right? That might be a different word. They basically asked me in Japanese, do you want to sit in a smoking or non-smoking area? And I was like, what? So they're like, oh, this person can't actually speak Japanese. But for a split second, they thought I could. And they were like, oh, awesome. But no. I actually, this is completely like unrelated, but I remember I was speaking to like one of the people in Disneyland and Disney World, I suppose. I don't know which one it is in Japan. Maybe it was in Disney Tokyo Sea. I don't know what. It doesn't really matter. And I was speaking and communicating Japanese with being like, I want to buy this. Would you like a bag and that sort of thing? This was like the second time I went back to Japan, and I had a bit more. Practice. I learned a bit more Japanese, so I can speak a bit more fluently. While before the first time I went to Japan, I basically had done like one term in Japanese or something. No, 2 terms maybe in Japanese. The second time I went, I had done like 6 terms, I think. Did it for the entire year. So I was considerably better. And they were like, "Oh, why are you here?" And I'm just. I remember because the conversation's a bit muddled in my mind because I didn't. Oh wait, we need another fossil. I didn't quite understand what they were saying. They were like, "Why am I here?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm just here with family, just have fun and that sort of thing." He was like a university student, and I was like, "Yeah, well, I just graduated at that point, and I studied a bit." I was like, "Oh, do you learn Japanese?" I was like, "Yeah, I studied Japanese in during university time." He's like, "Awesome," and I can't remember exactly what we said, but we exchanged some things. everybody was like, please, you know, keep on practicing. I want to see you get really good at it. I was like, oh, that's so nice. Even though I'm never obviously going to see you again, but that's sort of like, and maybe perhaps you just doing that because, you know, you're working in Disneyland. It's kind of expected for you to be nice and be very welcoming, so people come back and, you know, you can feed Walt Disney Company even more money. But, you know, part of me likes to believe that was a genuine human interaction. But just like, you know, I'm impressed that you're speaking our language, I suppose. I was trying really hard, you know. I was trying as well as I could speak Japanese, but you know, unsurprisingly, I get a bit flustered when I can't communicate properly. And I can communicate okay-ishly in English, but it's still quite annoying when I can't say exactly what I want to say. But it's even worse in another language, because I'm like, oh, I know what I want to say in English, but I can't think how to string it together in a different language, which is, to be fair, a frustration I think most people understand, and it's not unique to me, because I suppose I'm not going to say blessed, but I have a fortunate situation of being born in an English-speaking country, and, you know, English being quite a wildly accepted language for, not accepted language, but a wildly educated language for, a widely taught language, that's the word I want, for people to learn. So, you know, I can speak English with people, and then, you know, other people who don't have English as their first language just, like, are expected to learn it. Which, honestly, always makes me feel really bad, but it's, I'm always very thankful for my situation, because I suppose the pressure of trying to speak a foreign language isn't there for me as much. I'm not as expected as often to, you know, have to bust out my French or something. But, you know, I'm sure it happens sometimes. And yeah, speaking another language for me always gets me just like, I wish I could do this better, but I can't. And without practice, you know, that's the point of learning languages. You're meant to practice. There's so many languages I'd love to learn, but, you know, it just takes so long to learn languages is a problem, and there's so many other things I want to learn as well. So I'm satisfied with just, you know, improving my Chinese and Japanese for now. Maybe in the future I'll learn Korean as well, just to complete that trifecta of East Asian languages, I suppose. But also, those are just like more relevant to the things I actually like, you know. Obviously, you know, Chinese. Actually being Chinese, like to speak with family and been there. And it's quite an obvious language for me to learn. Japanese, obviously I like anime and that sort of thing. I like Japanese games. So learning Japanese has always been very helpful in that sort of part. Korean, to be honest, a weaker connection. The only thing I suppose I even participate in Korean-wise is Korean pop music, like K-pop. But even then, like, it's not really that big a deal to learn for Korean for. But it's not like I'm listening to French pop or Spanish pop or anything like that. So, well, to be fair, I did learn French back in school a little bit. Obviously, even for modern foreign language education in England's not great, to be perfectly honest, compared to a load of other countries who do it significantly better than us. But yeah, I suppose that's like, I wonder if that's part of the reason why I feel so dissuaded from travelling, like why I don't have much of a drive to travel. Part of it's because I suppose the adventures that you get from travelling I do like, but also are very energy intensive, and sometimes I'm quite a low-key person, I suppose, a lot of the time. So that's perhaps where my preference in lies. But a lot of it's also because, like, I want to interact, I want to have that, like, sort of connection, like, talk with locals, you know, just be able to freely chat with them and be like, oh, you know, tell me about a spin, you know, find an old grandpa or grandma just, like, wandering the streets of, like, whatever, and just, like, be able to sit down and have a nice conversation with them. But I just can't, you know, and I feel that's, because I can't, I feel that dissuades me even more, which is a bit of a shame, really. Which is why if I travel anywhere, and I'd like to travel with someone who is fluent in that language. Why are you sitting here with me? I mean, fair enough if you want, but... So yeah, to circle back to that yesterday thing, they travelled to that place and we had a fluent Russian speaker. They had so many awesome stories from that time. I was like connecting to the locals. I'm sure part of it is because it's quite often, I imagine, in small towns or small sort of countries, in this case, people just tend to be incredibly friendly, tend to be very open to talk with and all that good stuff, which I'm sure we don't need to say that. Made it very easier to connect, but I'm sure a lot of it also lies in the fact that being able to actually speak Russian and like a local language made it a lot easier for them to actually have any sort of connection in the first place. Oh, we need to sell more things. I've got hot item. Okay, let's sell some fossils. Hot item, customized, and fish. So yeah, you know, don't sleep on being omnilingual. I'm not sure why you would be. If you actually met someone who's omnilingual, I think your first reaction would be like, what? Really? And if you know another language, you can speak it. This reminds me actually, just like some random trip we went on in France or something in secondary school, so it's a bit of tangent. We just like have this museum owner who just like for some reason wouldn't stop talking about the fact that he could speak 5 languages and then kept insulting us. We were like GCSE time or that sort of age. He just kept talking about the fact that he can speak 5 languages and that he you know, he's just like these damn old youths these days can't speak any languages or whatever. You know, I felt that was pretty judgmental of that. He thought everyone in this, you know, English-speaking class could only speak 1 language, which, you know, it's a reasonable assumption. We're being in England and that sort of thing. We were in England class, we weren't in England. Being from a school from England, but, you know, quite a few of us on that trip probably could speak more than 1 language, you know, myself included. I can't speak 5, mind you, but, you know, if I had early education, maybe I could speak 5. You never know. But also, maybe I couldn't. I don't know. But it's I just always think about, you know, whenever people just be like, you know, when you're good, you'll tell people. If you're great, people will tell you. That's probably, I think, one of, not like the defining moment in my life that I adopted that, because I suppose I adopted this sort of like mentality from a much younger age, I'm sure. But I always think back, like, anytime I want to like sort of boast about myself a little bit, you know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good, but you know, I don't like boasting, and that's one of the reasons why. That guy, you know, just how annoying he was. Like, all right, we get it. You can, makeup bag smells like lovely perfume. Probably a media with Vivian then. I was like, all right, dude, we get it. You can speak multiple languages. Like, you gonna like tell us anything about these exhibits, or is that the only thing you're gonna talk to us about? It was just weird. But anyway, I mean, speaking 5 languages, certainly no easy feat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend like that wasn't impressive. Well, to be fair, who knows if he could actually spoke those 5 languages? Maybe it's the sort of thing where people claim that they're fluent in language and they're not actually. Which is why I always try to be a bit more careful. By the way, I'm running back here because I want to see if I actually have a pike statue or not. I'm always careful when I speak Chinese, Mandarin, I should say, but I reiterate, I'm not fluent in Mandarin. I can speak conversationally, but my speaking is definitely my worst part, but I can understand it reasonably well. And part of it's just due to because of the fact Mandarin's a tonal language. Like, so I suppose it's diving a bit deep. It's not pike, it's a gar, isn't it? I don't think I can see a pike statue, so it seems like we don't have one. Diving a bit deep into Mandarin. Mandarin's a tonal language, which means saying the same word, quote, quote, with a different tone expresses different meaning, like ma, 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 ma. Like one of them is horse. Ma is horse. And ma is mother. Or might be the other way around. If it's the other way around. Hold on. This is why you check. And part of the reason that I feel so like unconfident, I suppose, while speaking Chinese is because I don't know a lot of the tones or characters. I know the word. Like I would know, if I'm trying to say horse, I know I need to say the character ma. I just don't know what tone to say it with. Which makes ma. Okay, good. I got it right. Okay. Those years learning Chinese were not wasted entirely. Which is why I often feel a bit awkward speaking Chinese. And I suppose it's sort of like a self-fulfilling cycle where I don't speak it because I'm unconfident in it, and thus I don't get better, and then, you know, it gets worse and worse as it deteriorates because I don't practice. So really, I just need to get confident and start speaking in it more often. But I don't mind typing it, to be honest. Writing it's a bit more difficult because I can't remember how to write a lot of characters anymore, especially with the advent of keyboards where you just type in the pinyin. It makes it a lot easier. But yeah, like even visiting China, like I've only ever visited China with my family. I haven't ever gone like by myself on my own volition or anything like that. Not because there's any strong reason, but like the only thing really, I've already done a lot of things in China, I suppose. But the biggest draw to me in China is visiting my family. So why wouldn't I visit with my family? I suppose the long and short of it. Is Amelia at home? I thought Vivian was at home, but now I think about it, she was definitely walking around the square earlier. Okay, apparently Amelia's not home. We've seen Amelia though somewhere. I don't remember where we've seen her though. So yeah, that's just me. While I like conceptually visiting other places and meeting with people, I just wish I could speak that language. So don't sleep on being able... If you know, you get a genie and like make a wish for a superpower, but you can't have a too strong a superpower, you know, try pitching being an omnilingual, being able to speak every language. It would be, you know, it's a pretty useful ability to have. Think how easy travel would be, you know? You can just think how easy it would be just to socialise and make friends of that sort of thing, you know? Instead of trying to speak broken English and then, you know, hoping that the other party's more receptive to you speaking to them in a language that, by all accounts, they shouldn't be expected to know, but you know, just because of the way society works, people do. You could actually speak to them in their mother tongue and be like, oh yeah, this is like connection on a better level, you know? I'm not really sure where I'm going with this. It's always impressive seeing those videos of people who are polyglots or whatever, and they can speak multiple languages and them like interfacing with a load of people. Like it's always there's that really popular video which I have seen of like, whoa, like white guy can speak surprises Chinese restaurant owners in perfect Mandarin or something. By the way, his Mandarin is very good. I did watch it. I was like, that is straight up impressive. And you can see him. It's that reaction that people always have, been like, whoa, you can speak my language? That's incredible. That's awesome. And then he always has like nice chats with them and that sort of thing. Of course, there's the thing with polyglots that they don't tend to. Very few of them like can delve like really deep into a language. I heard. I don't actually know if that's true or not. Maybe I shouldn't parrot it as if it's some fact, because I don't know if it's true. But it's a thing I've heard about. A lot of them, that you can learn a lot of basic stuff, but like delving deep into multiple languages is very difficult as an actual polyglot. But you know, there are people out there who do that. I suppose in some ways I'm a little bit envious, but not. But I suppose I shouldn't be envious in the end. It's more like they've worked hard to even understanding, even being able to hold a very simple conversation in like multiple languages still takes a lot of effort to like learn and remember and get the pronunciation and practice. So even that's impressive. Don't make me feel like don't take my words as if I'm trying to be dismissive, being like, oh, you know, you only learned how to say how are you and I'm good and like talk about the weather in that language. That's not impressive at all. No, that is very impressive still, and certainly more than I can do in most languages at all. But yeah, I suppose part of me is a little bit envious, but you know, I shouldn't be envious. But they worked hard at like learning loads of languages and that sort of thing, and that's just what happens when you work hard at learning a load of different languages. You can speak a load of different languages. It's sort of like, I suppose, the inverse thing, or when like people used to be, I suppose, mildly envious to me in maths, or you know, if people are like seeing what I draw and be like, wow, you draw so well, I wish I could draw as good as you. You know, I worked hard to get good at these sort of things, and I proved over the years. I'm sure some of it is definitely up to raw talent, more on the mathematical side than necessarily the artistic side. I don't think I was born with much raw talent, I suppose, artistically, but mathematically certainly, and people would be envious. But you know, I worked hard to cultivate my own abilities, and that's a thing you got to remember when I see someone speaking multiple languages. You know, they worked hard to cultivate all those abilities and practice in the language and really put themselves out there to be able to refine it. And I'm sure that part of it is also, you know, being able to have opportunities to speak in the first place. I mean, I'm sure it'd be great right now if I learned like Korean, but I know literally no Korean people, and the only way I'd have to practice is I guess I could practice my like understanding by watching Korean shows and movies, because to be fair, there's a big film industry, I suppose, in Korea, or maybe it's the indie film industry. I don't really know. With the advent of things like Squid Game and perhaps like, I know Squid Game's not a film, but still, but like even having like a Korean friend or something you can speak to who knows Korean and you can practice with them would be cool. I mean, I do have Korean friends, but we're not that close, to be honest. More like Korean university classmates I've interacted with in the past, but haven't spoken to in years. Well, okay, it's not been years. Well, no, it's been quite literally the definition of 2 years, I suppose. The loosest definition possible. But yeah, I don't know, it's cool. If you speak multiple languages, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs up as well, you know? Well, I suppose that sounds kind of patronising, doesn't it? I don't mean it in that way. Like, obviously, not everyone's passion out there is going to be like learning other languages. Everyone will learn different things instead, which just takes higher priority to them. That's just, you know, the way life is. You got multiple things in life you could learn. You don't have enough time to learn all of it. You can only really pick and choose what options you get. But yeah, so basically, it'd be cool if I could speak every language. It'd be cool if I could shapeshift, and then suddenly shapeshifting into like a French speaker would mean I could speak French. That's a little bit too OP though. So this theoretical genie probably would not grant me that power. But yeah, I suppose, like, I wonder if I could speak every language, would I love to travel a lot more? And I think the answer would be yes. I think the answer would be yes for everyone, you know. One, because not only is it now significantly easier to travel, things become much more seamless. You can now, anytime you're lost, I can just ask a local exactly where to go. No trouble ever, like, communicating with people, you know. No confusion ever. Because you can just speak with them, like, in their language, and there won't have to be any language barrier. You won't have to only go to extremely touristy areas and try and figure out only to experience stuff like that. You can actually just go to, like, even smaller places. Like, it's pretty natural for, like, even touristy countries. For, like, I'll take Japan as an example. A lot of people in Tokyo can speak, like, they don't have to be fluent in English, but can speak, like, basic English. Enough that communication can happen. But if you go to, like, a much more rural area in Japan, like, I don't know, if you went to very north, very south, I don't really know what counts as super rural in Japan. It's probably less common for people to speak English, I'd imagine, because it's less expectation for people to visit there, and thus it sort of becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. But how awesome would it be to go to these, like, small towns as a visitor and be able to engage with what life is like with them. Of course, I'm not sure every person local will feel that way. Some people, I'm sure, will be like, we don't really want tourists here. This is just for locals only, in which case, fair enough. I can't really comment on that, but... Yo, Mountain, how are you? Vivi and I were just remembering the good old days. Were we? I think Rowan wants to talk about his childhood. It's hard to tell. Well, Rowan, what were you into as a child? Oh, I was into everything. Abs, pecs, delts, glutes, calves, biceps, triceps. Yep, everything. Those are all muscles. Rowan, there's more to life than working up a sweat, you know. Rescue this conversation, Canapé. What did you enjoy when you were young? Toys, books, snacks, abs. Absolutely toys, probably, is the most relevant thing. I thought so. He always seems so delightfully innocent. Maybe that's why. Excuse me, Vivian? Oh yeah, I love toys too. I play with my superhero action figures all the time, based. They're so mega ripped. It's really inspiring. Like All Might. Palasotra! Rowan, sometimes I doubt you'll ever grow up. And sometimes I hope you never do. I was a bit stunned for a second there, because that sounds like exactly something I would say. Maybe I am snooty after all. You know, all this time I thought I was a normal villager, but perhaps I am snooty. I think I'm a New Horizons snooty. I'm not a New Leaf and previous iteration snooty. Those don't fit me. I'm certainly... I'm like normal snooty mix. I think that's who I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's just sort of an interesting realization I just came to. What's up with stuff? Why not? Oh, there you are, Amelia. I forgot you were sitting on this rock. That's where we saw you before. And we'll put the stuff away. So yeah, I don't know. Being omnilingual, it's a cool power. Of course, it's like not that high up there in terms of power functionalities. You know, no one's getting to UA high with omnilingualism, probably, unless you can talk to animals like Coda, I suppose. Sorry, just because I've watched all of My Hero Academia now, I'm just like I want to throw all these references out there. You might ask, are you going to watch, not watch, you're going to read the manga? Maybe, maybe not. I think I'm just going to wait for the anime, because really the anime is such a delight. Animation-wise for me to watch. I love animation and seeing it being executed. Oh yeah, I did also watch the second movie. Haven't watched the third movie, obviously because that's still in cinemas, so I can't. I mean, I could go watch it. I don't know who would watch it with me, to be honest. Nor do I even care that much to go out to cinemas to watch it. Plus, I'd imagine you can only see the dub versions here in England. I don't know, actually. Let's see, hold on. Is it still being shown? Not going to say exactly. Of course, my location. Choose a venue. How about this venue close to me? Apparently it does not exist, this venue. Or... no? I'm obviously not going to like book this like now and just try and find out. I just want to see. Is it subbed or dubbed? James Bond, Shang-Chi, Paw Patrol. What's this? Scream? Seems like it's not showing. Abyss Cinema? Paw Patrol again? Gruffalo? Free Guy? What the heck? Space Jam? Oh yeah, I forgot that Space Jam. Huh. It's not being shown here. You know, it's probably only being shown in London. So let's see. The riveting gameplay, me just typing exactly what I want to see. What? What screens? What locations are showing this? London. It's not being shown anywhere. Alright, well that was a bit of a null effort. I guess we'll round off this episode here. Yeah. So yeah, I've been watching. Thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Deardarding. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Deardarding Discord. Follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.